are all looking for adventure. We are all looking for adventure.
Well, welcome to the Marriage Adventure Podcast. We're your hosts, Danny and Bonnie Hoover, and our desire is to help couples reconnect to Christ and to each other.
Every Monday afternoon, we release weekly marriage coaching on YouTube, so you're going to want to check that out if you haven't already. And today, we're going to be diving deeper into this week's topic.
That's right. And the topic today is, what do you do when your spouse shuts down emotionally? And we've all been there. Maybe you've been there. Maybe you're there now and you want to connect, but all you get is silence.
Marriage is designed by God for us to be connected to each other. It's just the way He made us very relational, but sin and stress and sometimes even just a bad day can cause us to put up walls between each other, and that's really tough. So how do we break through those walls without making things worse? That's what we're going to talk about today, so let's jump in.
All right. I thought this, Bonnie, statistic was interesting by the Gottman Institute, that 85% of the time it's the husband who withdraws and shuts down.
You thought that was interesting?
I did.
I don't think it's shocking, though.
Well, I didn't say shocking. Interesting.
Yeah. I think it's more often than not that it is the husband who does kind of withdraw.
So I think that's an interesting thing to go into too.
Oh, is it?
Why do you think that is not shocking?
I don't
Why do you think that
know.
happens?
Well, I think women have a tendency to be more relationally. We have a more of a desire oftentimes to be more emotionally connected. It's like how we always want, like, let's go out for coffee and talk, and tell me what's going on in your
Face
heart.
to face,
Yes.
let's talk, share your feelings.
Yeah, we want to
to
know what's going on in the heart. We like heart talk.
Yes.
And so I think that's sometimes scary for dudes.
Yes, it is sometimes scary for dudes because we don't have a lot going on there. Have you ever seen those memes where the couple's laying in bed and they're back to back and she's kind of looking back over him over her shoulder and she said, "I'll bet he's thinking about blah, blah, blah." It's always something deep.
Mm-hmm.
And then it shows his little thought bubble and he's thinking about, "I wonder what dog's thinking they're asleep." Right? He's just not. We're very simple creatures.
Well, and this is not across the board. That might be more, I guess that's why it's 85%, not 100%.
There you go.
But
There
yes,
you
so
go.
but it does make sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about for a minute what causes a spouse or a man, majority of the time, to shut down, right? What is that shutdown about? Now, there's a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you maybe made your spouse mad, right? And they're
Yeah.
hacked at you, and that would cause a shutdown.
Mhm.
But sometimes it's not. That's the kind of the go-to. That's what we always
Sure.
think. Oh, what did I do? What did I do? And sometimes it is that, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's about overload, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Got too much on your plate, and
Yep.
you just can't. You don't have Well, when we use the term, I'm all peopled out.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
Yesterday was one of those days.
Yeah, we've peopled all day, and I just can't. I don't have it to give right now.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's it.
Yeah, or overload with responsibilities, different things like that. So
Mhm.
we kind of go into shutdown mode. It's kind of like your computer. When your computer's overloaded and it's got a lot it's processing, what does it do? It just kind of freezes. On the Mac, you get the little spinning lollipop of doom.
Well,
right?
in your phone, like when it has to cool down,
Yes.
it's like too much. It's too hot. It's got too much going on. Just give it a second to cool off before it can re-engage with
Yeah.
you.
So overload, stress,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Another thing I think is shame.
Mm.
You know, you think about when when you get onto your dog and the
Yeah.
dog feels shame and remorse. It tucks its tail, it goes hides under the bed, it just gets quiet, it wants to
Mhm.
withdraw.
Yeah.
And sometimes we tuck our tails.
Well, and sometimes you know there's something looming, and so it's like, I don't want to get into this, so I'm just gonna
Yeah.
like withdraw, and I'm just gonna avoid it and just go into my own thoughts, and I'm gonna just let that whole little wheel of doom thing,
Yeah.
you're talking about on your computer, it spins in my head, and then I get in this cycle of just playing it out over and over. It's like, I don't want to get into that. It's just, I don't have the emotional energy
Just
to go
give me
there.
some ice cream
Yes.
right now. Right.
Yes, yes.
Which so that leads into this next thing I was going to say is just fear of conflict.
Yeah.
I do we have to handle this right now?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
and most people don't. Most people don't like conflict.
No. I mean, if you love conflict, that's another.
Something's wrong with
Yeah,
you.
there's another.
If you love
topic.
conflict in middle school, you really should seek counseling.
Oh my
Right?
gosh.
So,
Yeah.
but I do think this is it's something that's affected us,
Yeah.
and I think that it's worth sharing this personal story. And we've shared it before if you've been to some of our workshops or different things like this. And that was it was probably 12 years ago or so. The kids were little. Our kids are teenagers now. And I was just going through something. Now this was what I was going through in the moment. I didn't know what it was,
Right.
and I shut down.
Yeah.
And I shut out. I shut out.
Blocked me out, shut me out so
Yeah.
much so that I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening here?
Yeah.
Because that was, I mean, and you and I don't typically do that. We might have a shutdown for a day or so, and
Yeah.
and then we reconnect on stuff. But this was different. It was
This was months
weeks,
on end.
yes, months long shutdown.
It was,
Which
and
was scary.
and looking back on it now, I know, I've kind
Yeah.
of defragged it and debriefed it, and so I know what it was about. There was things going on at my job which led to change there, which was a good thing.
Yeah.
But then there was something that I was, kind of upset with you about, and so there was kind of both and. But I did. I pulled back from you and the kids were little, so they don't remember anything
No.
like that.
But I remember.
Yeah. So what did that feel like? Your quality time.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, and I'm the
That
quality
hurts.
time of I want to sit down and talk quality time. I'm not just like sitting in
Yeah.
the same room watching TV together. That's not quality time to me. I want heart connection quality time.
So if all you in podcast land listening, us doing this podcast is an investment in Bonnie's quality time bank.
Hmm.
You enjoy this, right?
I do
As we're
enjoy this.
talking and-
But that doesn't let you out of quality time.
No,
later.
no, I'm
just
not
us
saying
when nobody
that.
else is listening.
I'm not saying that.
No.
But yeah, so all that to say, you feel it exponentially heavy
Yes.
when I withdraw.
Mm-hmm.
Because
To me it feels like a rejection of me. It feels like, and sometimes if it's something that sometimes I don't know why, and so I'm like, I fill in the blanks. Like, what did I do? Why is he mad at me? Is it that's my tendency is to go
Right.
like, what have I done? What
which I think is
in
probably
spiral.
probably most of us.
And spiral into that of I like to fill in the blanks, and you usually assume the worst. It's not like I was like, what have I done? Why is he not wanting to connect with me? And then it's like, if it's I'm trying to reconnect and you're not, it's like, I guess he just doesn't care.
Yeah.
So that's what it feels like. It feels like rejection.
Yeah. And there's the whole man cave premise. In the past, decade or so, guys have started building out these man caves. Well, there's a reason for that. It's because even before it became a room to go to,
Mm-hmm.
men like bears would just withdraw
Mm.
and get in our cave, and that's it goes back
Hibernate.
to that. Hibernate. That's the 85%, right?
Yeah.
And so, it is especially hurtful.
But why? Let me ask you from a man's perspective, why do you think men do that? Why do you think they feel like rather than engaging in something and conversing and digging into the feelings aspect, why does it feel safer for you to just withdraw?
I think depending on what the issue is, there's different reasons, right? So
Do tell. All women want to know.
every woman's ear just leaned closer.
Yes.
I almost said to the radio, which
Radio.
50 years ago.
Yeah, right.
So, if I'm mad at you,
Yeah.
then withdrawal is my flesh reacting out, or and responding, and in an attempt to I can't say there hasn't been times that my withdrawal or shutting down was an attempt to hurt you,
Mhm.
right? Rather than with words. I know that's not a place I want to go,
Yeah.
but withdrawal can hurt you. Or it's, well, I'm going to shut down because it's that fight, flight, or freeze. It's the freezing of that.
Mm.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't want to say something hurtful. I don't want to say, in our relationship, our dynamic is my personality is I'm more assertive.
Mm-hmm.
And I try not to do that in a mean way. I try to,
No.
it's just naturally my personality is
You express
is
your opinions though
express my
freely.
opinion. Yeah, because and I think it goes along with being a visionary and a creative and all
Mm-hmm.
that. So it's like, man, what if? Let's do this right. And
So when
so,
you stop talking to me, it's scary.
yeah, that makes sense. But sometimes I don't want to bulldoze you
Mm-hmm.
by talking,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'll just freeze, and because I'm not, or I'll withdraw because I'm like, well, if I say anything, then she's going to feel like I'm bulldozing her and try to get my right. So I just kind of freeze. And so I think in that case, that could be it. Or you feel like it's the safer choice, you know. And then there's other times where if I'm just stressed or it's an outside thing and it has nothing to do with you or the kids, I'm just processing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a couple years ago, something happened and I was just sad and I just, so I just kind of turned inward and processed it
Mm-hmm.
inwardly. And so it would have been good if I had had a phrase to say to you
Mm-hmm.
and let you know, hey, it's not you. I'm good. I
Yeah.
just, I'm just processing some stuff.
Well, and I think that's something that could be helpful
Yeah.
for listeners. I think that will be helpful if you're the one who shuts down to
Yeah.
communicate at least a little bit of I'm processing something. It's not about us, or it is about us. I need time to work through it, though. Give me a second.
Yeah. Okay. So on this other side of this break, I want us to talk about how to handle that, right?
Okay.
And what are some common mistakes that we need to avoid and how we need to respond. Are you looking for a transformational investment in your marriage relationship? Or whether you're simply looking to press the reset button, or you're heading into a new season of marriage, or maybe you need to process and debrief a particularly tough season, well, a marriage intensive could be the answer. These are private, 3-day, all-inclusive intensives here at our farm retreat in the foothills of the North Georgia mountains. They include lodging, all meals, and 21 hours of coaching to help you and your spouse reconnect and strengthen your relationship. Well, if you're interested and you'd like more information, visit themarriageadventure.com/intensives. All right, so it's really funny coming off of that ad about the intensives is that we did an intensive a few years ago before we kind of launched the Marriage Adventure full time, and it was just really a debrief. It was one of the greatest things we've done for our marriage, and we were 10 years removed from that time, that season when I shut down, but in our intensive it came up.
Yeah.
And we finally got a chance to debrief it, and you didn't even know you had
Mhm.
done anything, right?
Yeah.
And related to that. And so it brought up a really neat time of healing
Mhm.
and all. So maybe that's something you guys need. So Proverbs 15:1 gives us a good understanding of how we should handle our spouse when they do withdraw. And that says, a soft answer turns away wrath, but a grievous word stirs up anger. And so let's talk about gentle answers versus harsh words.
Gentle answers. Well, the first thing, I think we have a tendency at times when our spouse is stonewalling us to be like, so what is wrong? Just talk to me. Would you please just,
Yeah.
what is your problem?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not gentle. It makes things worse. And I've done it. There have been times that I've been like, what is going on with you? And it doesn't help.
And I've done it too. Gosh, I
Mhm.
remember early in our marriage, we had talked about there is a time of the month that we
Mhm.
should avoid talking about
Yeah.
deeper things and making decisions. And we had an argument, and it was that particular time of the month, and I was not wise to that at the time because
No,
I
I
was young.
told you.
I was young and stupid,
Yep.
and so I pressed it. I pressed to discuss it, and
And
it
that's
did
when
not
you
go
got the
well.
harsh words came back.
That's right. Totally my fault. I
Yeah,
own it.
it stirred up some anger.
I should not have pressed that.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's hard in the moment when emotions are there and all the feels are there and you're worried. You know,
Yeah.
you're worried your spouse is shutting down, they're pushing away,
Mm-hmm.
and you just want to fix it.
And you're wanting to fix the relationship because sometimes, so for me, it's that I am not. Sometimes I'm so selfish in the thing of I want this to be good. I forget that I need to lean into what's going on with you.
Yeah.
It's like I'm wanting my side of things to feel right. I'm wanting it to feel better for me. I'm
Yeah.
wanting to. I want everything that I want the house to feel at peace. I want us to be reconnected and all those things. And so I make it about me in my lack of self-control of trying to like give you space. I push and I pressure and I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? Can we talk about this? What did I do? Is everything okay? Can you know? And it's hard to not do that because sometimes I tend to make it about me when I need to be asking the question, Lord, what's happening in his heart right now?
Yeah.
And how can I serve him in that?
Yeah, and so you just said right there, you just brought in the aspect of prayer and bringing the Holy Spirit into it.
Mm-hmm.
Because truly, the Holy Spirit knows what's going on in both hearts.
Yes.
And the Holy Spirit knows what's going on in your spouse's heart when they withdraw. And so what we want to do is we're either walking in the Spirit or we're walking according to the flesh, right? And so my flesh wants to chase. My flesh wants to pressure. Or my flesh wants to retaliate by shutting down and stonewalling in return.
Yeah.
Well, okay, if you're going to do that, then dang it, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Right. And that's totally the flesh. It's not the spirit. So there's no middle ground. It's either the flesh or the spirit. And so what is the spirit? Well, the fruits of the spirit are peace and patience and kindness and gentleness
Self-control.
and self-control. Right. And so all of those are qualities or fruit of the spirit. And so if we're looking for an answer of how to handle this, well, first of all, we've got to be walking in the Spirit daily.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you, if I am not in the Word if I'm not seeking the face of Jesus daily, and not just daily, sometimes moment by moment, then there's no way when this happens I can respond correctly. My flesh always wants to play the victim. My flesh always wants to say, well, you, or what did I, that kind of thing. It always wants to make it about me. And there are some times that it's about me, but it needs to be approached with actions, gentleness, and self-control and kindness. So don't chase, don't pressure.
Another thing
don't shut down.
Is we don't need to shame or use sarcasm. Like if you're genuinely going through something, me just like saying, why are you always like this? Why are you doing this again? I mean,
or throwing out a smart butt word like, oh, well, I guess you're going to blah, 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 blah,
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't help. That doesn't help.
No.
It's like, that's just pouring, like if there's a fire, it's like going and pouring gasoline on it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make things any better. It's going to lead to an explosion.
Yep. So let's talk about how we do need to respond. Well, first of all, let's go back to what I just said. You got to be in the face of Jesus daily, right? And if you haven't been in the face of Jesus daily and this comes up, then what you need to do is press pause
and go get in the face
and say,
of Jesus.
I need to go get in the face of Jesus.
Yeah.
Which you're really good about doing that. About saying, hey, I don't need to talk about this now. Let's revisit this. I need to get in the face. You just tell me that. I need to go be with Jesus. And so get in the face of Jesus and invite him in and ask him, Father, I need you to do this for me now.
Yeah.
And put it on him. And he'll come through. Father, I need you in this moment to give me patience and clarity, or at least keep my mouth shut until you do.
Give me some self-control.
Give me some self-control.
Yes. Yep.
And so,
well,
you're
and
about to say something.
Yeah, I was going to say our heart in this is for connection. It's not to make things worse or to pick an argument. And I love in Proverbs 20, verse 5, it says that the purpose in a man's heart is like deep water. It's like the depths of an ocean.
Yeah.
But a man of understanding will draw it out. And in these times, if my spouse has withdrawn, my heart here is not to just go, what did I do? What's it? It's really to draw out your heart. What is in the depths of that? Because sometimes you might not even know what is in the deepest place of that. But because I'm in a covenant relationship with you and love you and want your heart always to be in right relationship with the Lord and with me, I want to lovingly find ways to draw that out,
Yeah.
that deep well, and I need to focus on making me a safe place for you to pull that out.
Yeah.
To pour that out. I need to focus on being kind and gentle and loving in this, recognizing you're going through something, and to draw that out in love.
Well, and to go back to in the beginning, you asked why.
Mhm.
Why did guys shut down?
Mhm.
And that I think you just said another good reason. Sometimes a guy may not feel like it's a safe place,
Mm.
and so he shuts down because a lack of safety. And so, yeah, being able to create that safe environment is huge.
Mhm.
And so it's respecting what they're going through without rejecting
Mhm.
them as a person.
Yeah.
And I think that's big. And then you get down to just the very pragmatic things, right? What do they say that 93% or 94% of communication is nonverbal,
Mhm.
right? And so most statistics are made up on the spot. So I might have just made that up.
Nice.
I did hear it. I have heard it, and
Nice.
I think it's true. So body language and tone really matter
Mhm.
in how you approach this with somebody. So be a calm presence for your spouse versus a defensive posture.
Well, and I
Right.
think you can use some of the ways you do that. You can use certain phrases that let them know, I see you, I see you're in something. You can say like, okay, I can tell you're kind of quiet right now. I'm here if you need to talk.
Yeah.
Let me know.
And this blew up with us a couple of years ago. I was going, that was what I was saying earlier. I was processing something. I was just sad about something. And then, so I withdrew and, well, you were, to use a modern, you were triggered back to what happened
Yeah.
12 years ago, 10 years ago or so at that time. And so you instantly went back, oh no, he's going into this again.
Mhm.
And I wasn't. I was just, I was melancholy. I was processing something. And so it blew up. And I'll never forget, we were in the motorhome.
And the kids were with us.
The kids were with us, and they weren't little. This was just a couple years ago. And we were in Louisiana in a church parking lot, about to walk into the church to do
Yeah.
some ministry or something. And we told the kids, stay in the motorhome. And we walked to the other side of the parking lot, and I could just see their little faces looking at us
What is
like,
happening? What are they
what's
doing?
happening? And I was like, can I not just have an emotion without you guys responding? Can I not be sad or upset or quiet without it being destructive to you?
Mm-hmm.
And you said no. Because what I walked through 10 years ago, it sends me back to that place. So yes, you can have a moment, but I need you to give me some kind of keyword or word to say it's okay. I'm not in this deep pit. I'm just And
that's what I would say. If you're the spouse who's in that mode and you're dealing with something, try to, as best as you can, put some kind of word to communicate to your spouse. Hey, I need a minute. We're good. I just need a minute. Or
even if you're not
we're
good.
not, but I need a minute to pull my thoughts together, and only take a minute. I mean, don't take months.
Yeah.
Give them something.
What are you saying? Is that wrong?
I'm just saying, give them something that lets them know, look, I'm processing and I want to handle it according to the Spirit.
Yeah. Now, it's hard to do that if you're trying to injure your spouse with your silence.
Yes.
Because that's not injury. So you're not going to want to do that. And
Yep.
again, to the guys or whomever it is, you got to be abiding. You got to be walking daily, because things like this are going to happen. And if you haven't been in the Word consistently, then you're not going to respond right.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want a chance at responding in the Spirit when you go into these melancholy or when you withdraw, you got to have a fair shot. You got to be walking.
Well, and
Jesus.
I do have to say this too, that especially if it's the guy that's going through that, we've said before that the husband does set the tone for the family.
Yeah.
And the rest of your family is feeding off of that. So yes, you are allowed to have those moments, but you've got to do it in a way that does not crash your whole home.
Well, and it is different for our family. So if you're listening, it's different than this in your family. It might be, but for our family, my emotions.
You're the
and I'm the
thermostat.
thermostat. Yes, I set the temperature. I've talked with families where the wife is,
Mm-hmm.
and the husband responds to that, and the kids respond to that. I've talked to families where the teenage kid is the thermostat, right? And that's a whole nother podcast episode. But in our family, you can have a mood. You can go off on the kids, and they're fine.
Yeah.
If I go off on the kids, they need therapy. That's what it feels like. I'm like, come on, can't I yell at you like mama?
No.
No, I can't.
No.
It's just different.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
I know. I'm sorry.
I don't yell at my kids
No.
much.
No, you don't.
But anyway, so
Yes.
yeah, so let's get back on task here.
Right. Let's
So
circle back around.
offer grace.
Yeah.
Offer grace in those moments, because we all have moments. We all have bad days. We all have bad weeks. Truthfully, we do. We all have shutdown moments, and if you don't have a shutdown moment, then that means you have a yelling moment, or you have an emotional outburst moment.
Mm-hmm.
All that to say, we all have emotions. However you process them, however they come out.
Yeah.
And so, try to have grace, because you're going to need that grace one day
Yes.
in return.
That's right. That's right. Well, and to tie this in biblically, to just a way to to respond in the moment. We have a great example of Elijah in 1 Kings 19, and just how God met him in that he just goes and like lies down under a broom tree and basically wants to die.
He's depressed.
Yeah.
He's wallowing in his self-pity is what he's doing.
Yes, but God responded to him, and it's a great example.
With grace and with kindness. And this is really important for us to understand. God gave him a moment.
Mm-hmm.
God gave him time underneath the broom tree.
Yep.
He let him sleep. He let him withdraw. It's what he needed to gain perspective. And then God met him.
Yeah.
And then God brought him food. So bake your spouse cookies. That's very important. And
Yes.
and so food always helps. You're not you when you're hungry. And so God met him there.
Yeah.
And that's a great example for us. Sometimes you need to let the bear go into the cave for a moment
Mm-hmm.
before you engage.
Yeah, that's a
And
good
then
idea.
and then come with a loving,
Mhm.
with a loving
Yes.
heart. And God asked him, he said, "What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you here?"
Yeah.
God knew. God didn't come and say, "Why are you here? You're always in
No.
in this cave."
He didn't let him stay there.
No, he didn't let him stay there, but he came very loving.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a great understanding for us. So anyway, anything else, Bonnie, as we wrap up?
Yeah, I mean,
today?
I think it's just important to remember that when we're going through stuff like that, we don't need to sweep things under the rug. We don't need to ignore it. I mean, there's obviously something going on, and we can use statements that like I statements to describe what's going on. Like, it makes me feel like this, that you've withdrawn.
Yeah.
Can can you help me understand what's happening right now?
Yeah.
Or if I've been not become a safe place for you, I can ask the question, what would help you feel safe sharing with me next time? And then just be very reassuring and loving towards your spouse that, look, I'm here. I'm here to help. If I can help, let me know. If not, I'm just here praying, and I'm going to love you and give you a minute. And we got to be patient. We do have to be patient with our spouse.
Yeah, that's good. And I think it's very important, kind of as a last thing, is we have to forgive each other regularly, And so James 5:16 says, "Therefore confess your sins to one another and pray for one another so that you may be healed. And the prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective." And so as you walk through these times of withdrawal, when you do pray for each other, when you do encounter each other with a loving heart and an understanding word, then it's really powerful in strengthening your relationship.
Yeah. So here's the encouragement we want to leave you with today. Every couple faces moments when one spouse shuts down, and it doesn't mean that your marriage is broken, and it doesn't mean that your spouse doesn't care. most of the time it's just about overload. It's not really about rejection.
Yeah. So when you respond with grace, though, and patience, and the heart of Christ, you create this safe place and this safety in your marriage that really helps you thrive. And so remember, you don't have to figure this out on your own. If you need help getting started, we have a free marriage reset blueprint that you can grab. And the link is right here in the show notes. It's very simple. Or you can go to themarriageadventure.com and grab that free marriage reset blueprint. Well, thanks so much for joining us.
We are all